Steve Prescott's hands up! For Steve Prescott's hands up! For Steve Prescott's hands up!
G'day, welcome to the NRL Round 8 preview. This is my first ever broadcast, so sorry for scaring you with my nude nut. If you don't like it, seriously, build a bridge, get over it. Close your eyes, pretend it's a podcast. Anyway, let's get to our first game, and it is the absolute, here's my notes. It's the first game everyone's been waiting for this all year. It's South versus Brisbane, the Rabbitohs versus the Broncos. It is Bennett versus Seibold. Everyone's been waiting for this. It was the talk of the summer. Bennett's ugly Brexit from Brisbane. They did the swap. And all week, Bennett's just been kicking back, going, oh, I didn't even know we were playing Brisbane this week, you know. Whereas you look at Seibold, he's under pressure. He stormed out of the press conference last week the minute the game was brought up. So you can see what's happening there. And there's other things going on at Brisbane. Cody Nikorima's gone. Yeah, I know. Who knew? Apparently Seibold told him he wasn't in the long-term plan, so Cody went, ta-ta, I'm off to the Warriors. So young Tom Dearden debuts at 18, and he will have slamming Sam Burgess's shoulders imprinted on his back the next morning. Sam will smash this boy into the turf. I hope he's tough, and I'm sure he is. He's playing NRL footy. Souths are going great. They're not shooting the lights out, mind you. They're going great points-wise, 6 out of 7. But I think they'll get the job done, especially with Nikorima not playing. Brisbane were much better the last couple of weeks, but I think Nikorima might throw them out a bit. I'll back the Bunnies to get home. The next game is the Cowboys versus the Titans. And I think with the King of the North, Jason Taumalolo, a chance of playing. The man who makes an Easter Island statue look like a pebble. He's that big. The Cowboys were terrible last week. Even if Taumalolo doesn't play, I think the Cowboys will get over the top of the Titans after, a poor loss to the Bulldogs. They'll get the lollies there. The Titans, just not good enough last week. They were poor against the Tigers, and I think the trip to Townsville might be too much for them. The other Friday night game is, normally we'd be looking forward to this, the Sharks versus the Storm, old foes, but the Sharks are decimated by injuries. On top of losing Aaron Woods, Matt Moylan, they've now lost Sean Johnson for a month with a hamstring strain. Josh Dugan, surprise, surprise, he's out again. And led by the two Camerons, Munster and Smith, it's the Storm to get home in that one. The Storm just keep doing what they do. They march on. Get ready, get excited. You English quartet of Raiders, you're heading off to Wagga. Regional uni town. I think you should get into the spirit of things. Maybe go to the uni, play a bit of beer pong, bit of pool, and maybe then go streaking down the main street. I don't know. You work it out. You're adults. Knock yourself out. Have fun. And bring regional footy some spectacular play. I'm looking for Bateman and Elliot Whitehead to again lead from the front. They were both very good against Manly. And I think Josh Hodgson was a bit off last week, so I expect him to bounce back and just run the show like he has been doing. And Ryan Sutton's been playing good footy. For the Panthers, they're basically, I don't know, Ivan, what are you doing, mate? Basically, they're running around like headless chooks, and they just don't know what to do, and throw the ball to Viliami, kick out and say, Villy the kid, just head for the try line and do your best, mate. Which he did last week. He scored a try out of nowhere. He beat about 4, carried about 15 over the line, and like he was holding a pea, just planted the ball down. Great work, Villy, but Cleary and Maloney need to pick their act up, otherwise they will not be the Blues' starting halves pair. So Raiders to sneak home in that one. If it was a GIO, I'd definitely pick it. It's at Wagga, a bit of a coin toss. Go the Raiders. Feuding time, Des is up against his old dogs. Manly are playing the Bulldogs. Des, as he's wont to do, seems to leave other teams' salary caps in a mess when he leaves. He did the same with the Dogs. There'll be a bit of spite there. The Dogs are playing good footy despite being last on the table. Led by Corey Harawira and Naya is killing it in the back row for the Dogs. Sorry, that was one of the cats just knocking over something. Get out of it, you rat bag. Manly, they may struggle this week. DCE's out, he's injured. Again, no Tom Trbojevic. The forwards are strong. Adam Fanua-Blake, Marty Tapau, Jake Trbojevic, 3 guns. But I just think the Bulldogs might be able to sneak an upset here. George Tafua's out as well, so they've got a few out. Next game, Roosters versus the Tigers. Roosters all the way. They've had 2 really big games against the Storm and the Dragons, which might have sucked a bit of juice out of them, but they've had a 9-day turnaround. They're professionals. Luke Keary's back, and I think with Takiaho and Maria Hargraves leading the way, feeding Cronk and Keary, who then feed Latrell Mitchell, James Tedesco, Joey Manu. You got a back line like that, you're in every game, no matter how you're playing. They can find a try out of nothing. I just think they'll be too good for the Tigers, who also have Chris McQueen back playing for them. Yeah. Well, look, don't get me started on eligibility rules, but he is an Englishman and he's played a test, and he is, like, you got to dip your lid to him. He has fought back from injury, playing a lot of reserves over the last couple of years. He's back in Michael Maguire's plans. He played last week, he's in again this week, and good luck to him. Ryan Madison, ex-Chook, he's been playing great footy. Benji Marshall's back as well, with Josh Reynolds out injured. So the Tigers do have a chance, but I think the Roosters by 20. There you go. Warriors Knights on Sunday. Kalen Ponga is killing it at fullback for the Knights. It was a good move putting him back. Mitchell Pearce came good last week, but they're up against the Warriors at home with Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, the Dally M winner, back at fullback. I think the Warriors will be too good. They've got Blake Green back, and I think there could be a few points in this one, and I think most of them will go the Warriors' way. I just can't wait to see Tuivasa-Sheck versus Ponga. That's a match made in heaven, fullback royalty. But the Warriors to win, and the last game is a bit more feuding. Storm and Norman, Corey Norman up against his old Eels. So the Dragons versus the Eels at Bankwest Stadium. Parramatta fed off the emotion of that game, the opening a couple of weeks ago, and then had a real low last week. They'll be back up this week. But the Dragons are going to be tough. James Graham gave it everything against the Roosters, as he always does, and he'll drag along his Dragons. They're right in this. Ben Hunt and Norman are playing really good footy. They are missing Gareth Widdop, but Matt Duffy, who replaced him at the back, scored one of the best solo tries you'll ever see last week, turning James Tedesco inside out. Oh, boy, who do you tip? It's a real toss of the coin. I actually got a feeling the Dragons might sneak this one. They were good against the Roosters and could have won that. So Dragons to win. Now, here's the ladder. Brought to you this week by Wayne Bennett's Classic Duets. It's a new album he may be bringing out. I think I've just heard it on the Bush Telegraph. He might be bringing out an album of classic duets. Apparently there's one with Anthony Seibold, I've Got You Under My Skin. He's done one with Theresa May, the Brexit Blues, and also a beautiful, beautiful, touching duet with Darius Boyd, like a father and son. And it's called When You Leave Me, Walk Out Backwards, so it looks like you're walking in. He's missing Wayne, I think, old Darius. Here's the table, and the top three, the Roosters, Storm and Rabbitohs, are leading the way, and they are the best three teams by a country mile. Then you got the Raiders, and we've got the Eels, Sea Eagles, Tigers and Dragons rounding out the 8. Where have I gone? Hello, how you going? We got the Sharks, Broncos, Knights, Warriors, Titans, Panthers, Cowboys and Bulldogs rounding out the bottom. But if you look at the table from 10 to 16, there's not a struck match in it. They're all on 4 points and all need to win. Otherwise they're going to lose touch with some of these big boys. Anyway, that's it from me. That is the Round 8 preview. Enjoy your footy. If you're going to gamble, do it responsibly. I wouldn't waste my money. And don't follow my tips. But remember, 50% of the time, I win every time. See you later.
Watch every game of the NRL, plus the grand final and state of origin, from anywhere outside Australia, New Zealand or the Pacific Islands. Go to watchnrl.com and take the footy with you.